Hello, hello, hello. I am the African Witch Bitch Hoodoo practitioner coming to you live and direct from the AWB Botanica in Los Angeles, California. I popped up on that ass, didn't I? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So we need to I just need to talk. I need to get some things off my chest. I need to address some things because people have been asking me. So I am gonna go ahead. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. I am gonna go ahead and add the link because after I finish my monologue, you guys please feel free to jump into the chat, jump backstage to get a free consultation on Spellwork or to discuss the topic at hand. The topic, not a topic, the topic, or to get a free consultation. Hey, everybody. Hello, hello, Mango Juice, like the name. Hello, Queen L. It is very, very nice to see you guys. Hello, hello, hello. I am the African Witch Bitch. I'm y'all favorite hoodoo auntie. So, as you guys seen from the topic at hand, we are here to discuss Caucasian people in hoodoo as teachers, not as people who respect the practice, not as people who want to learn about the practice. Not talking about that. Not talking about that. Hi, Ivan. Hi, VC. Hi, Brashiba. Hi, Raw Eden Michelle. Hello, 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 you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. But we need to discuss something heavy today, y'all. It needs to be discussed. So we here, I'm the person, I'm the bitch that discuss shit, especially thick ass topics, uncomfortable ass topics. If you are new to me, I am your hoodoo auntie. I'm a teacher, a not-for-profit teacher of hoodoo in the craft. I teach hoodoo foundational as possible. I want you guys to learn as close to foundation as possible. That is what I do. That is what I teach. I also teach the history. So with that all being said, we can't discuss foundational hoodoo without discussing the history. So let's get started. So as you guys seen from the topic, today, what are we discussing? We are discussing Caucasian people in hoodoo. Caucasian people in hoodoo as teachers, not people in hoodoo who respect the practice, who want to learn about the practice, who want to know the correlation to that and Wicca and different other practices globally, indigenous practices globally. We're not talking about that. There's nothing wrong with having respect for a practice, even though it may not be yours or it may not be culturally indigenous to you. For example, there's different practices like Wicca, like the Celtic practices that is not indigenous to me and my culture, but I have a lot of respect for the practice and I like to learn about it. I absolutely do like to learn about it. I would never be a teacher in one of those practices. Why not? Because I am not Celtic. I am not Caucasian. I'm not white. So it wouldn't make sense for me to be in there teaching. That's just not me. That's not my lane. I stick to my people's traditional spiritual system. Right. Grateful Goddess, the ancient Aryans. Yes. Yes. They have different pagan practices that they did prior to the Crusades and Christianity, how Christianity came and slaughtered everybody who wasn't a Christian or a Catholic or whatever, the whatnot of the whatnot. But right now we're here to discuss white people teaching in hoodoo. And how did this subject come about? Because people keep asking me through consultations, through email, through DMs about white people, specifically hoodoo delish. I keep getting a lot of people asking me about hoodoo delish. What do you think about hoodoo delish? What do you think about hoodoo? Well, I'm finna tell y'all what the fuck I think about hoodoo delish. And not just only specifically coming for her. Period. Caucasians being teachers in the practice. Now, I did a whole video about this, but I haven't posted it yet. And I decided, and Spirit directed me to, instead of posting a TikTok video talking about my feelings, we're just going to go live, drop the link. Let me drop it one more time. Let me see. So that if you guys are interested in coming on and talking about this or giving me some of your feedback, or even if you want to disagree in a respectful way, I have no problem debating you about this topic because it's something that that's dear to my heart. Real talk, like for real, for real. It's something that's 100% dear to my heart. And sorry, y'all, excuse me. So if you are one of those people that have an issue with what I'm saying or disagree with me, please feel free to come on and we can discuss this, period. And like I said, I don't have an issue discussing it. We can discuss this respectfully. I'm not going to disrespect you, but if you disrespect me and you come out the side of your neck, I'm going to come out the crack of my ass. And we just can go back and forth. It is what it is. And those two places I really truly don't go is back and forth. But I am passionate about this shit. There's very few things on earth I'm passionate about. Number one is protecting children. Period. You want to talk about that shit? Let's talk about it. And that subject might come out in this conversation. Number two is hoodoo. I'm very passionate about that because it's my bloodline, it's my birthright, and it is African spirituality. And I believe the practice should be protected. And the last thing is cats, because I love cats and wine. But we'll talk about my other pleasures another day. So let's talk about this. Hoodoo Delish. Hoodoo Delish is a social media platform and website started by a whole ass white woman. Hello, everybody. Hi, I missed you guys too. And I promise I'm going to go live more often. So this woman is a colonizer. And she's from a long line of colonizers. She is Caucasian, and I'm not coming for anybody. I don't hate anybody. I love who I am, and just because I love being Black and I'm hella pro-Black, don't mean that I hate people. That's not the same thing. Just because I love me and have a strong, immense pride of being a woman, a Black woman, protecting Black girls, protecting Black boys, loving my culture, loving my people does not mean that I hate anybody else. It just means I love me. And there's nothing wrong with loving you, regardless of where you're from. If you know anything about me, the foundation of me is self-love. I teach everybody to love their goddamn self because I believe 90% of your problems, if you really, really put the pedal to the metal and take a piece of paper and weigh the shit out, is because of people's self-love deficit. So I teach everybody to love on them. So I love me. So when I'm about to say I'm not coming for nobody, but we are finna discuss this shit from a historical standpoint. Now, Hoodoo Delish was started by a white woman. She is a self-proclaimed teacher of hoodoo, but she is 100% unequivocally Caucasian. So here's the problem that I have with that. And like I said, we're going to talk about some history today. We're going to talk about some history today. Let's start with the history of hoodoo specifically. Okay, let's start with the history of hoodoo specifically, not talking about the other African spiritual systems, although what I'm about to say is going to touch on them because hoodoo is under the umbrella of African traditional religions or African traditional spiritual systems. Or it's not, hoodoo actually technically isn't a religion, it's folk magic, but it did come from West Africa when our people were brought here and they were enslaved here. They were prisoners of war, held captive here by the colonizers. By the we were not permitted to practice our traditional spiritual system. We were not permitted to drum. We were not permitted to do any type of folk magic. We were completely cut off from our traditional spiritual system. And a lot of people would like to know, well, why would they do that? Why would they do that? Well, the reason why they did that shit is because they didn't want us tapping in, because they knew there was power there. And they knew that if we did tap in, and we did start invoking some of these death loas and doing this spell work, that we would fuck them up. And they didn't want that. So they beat our spiritual system out of our back and replaced it with Christianity and Catholicism. They wanted us to worship their white God, because if you put a white Jesus or a white God or a white deity, white Mary, whatever the case may be, inside the mind of a Black person, a Black child, a Black man, a Black woman, that esteems and that reinforces white superiority and supremacy, and diminishes our know-how and love for ourselves. We look to white people as being the savior, and not just in religion, but just in everything. And then they backed it up with biblical references that teach Black people and brown people and people all over the world how to be better slaves by teaching them, in order to go to heaven, you have to be a good slave and obey your master. There's scriptures in the New and Old that support this. They wanted us to have that religion and forgive your enemies. And I always said that any religion that teaches you to forgive your enemy was written by your enemy, period. So now that it was forbade for us to do our traditional spiritual system, because our people practice voodoo or voodoo in West Africa, which is voodoo. That's what we did. We did ancestor adulation, and it had been practiced for hundreds of thousands of years, even going back even further than that. And Christianity is only what, 2,500 years old? They replaced our traditional spiritual system with some new bullshit. And we were forbade. We couldn't burn no sage. And the Native Americans, the native people, the indigenous people of this land burned different types of sages, but so did we in West Africa. We couldn't do that. We couldn't do any type of workings that had anything to do with our traditional spiritual system. So that's where Hoodoo was birthed. In extreme secrecy by our ancestors, whispered in the ears of our children from them big mamas from that was taken. And maybe they witnessed their big mama back home, back in West Africa, and then they would whisper and tell their kids, but they would do it in extreme secrecy under threat of death. That's Hoodoo. They taught their children in extreme secrecy how to tap into their traditional spiritual systems and how to adulate their ancestors for protection, for prosperity, but mostly for protection. It literally was birthed in extreme secrecy and fear to protect us and to keep us connected to our ancestors during the worst time in human history, which is our Ma'afa, which was our in slavery. That's where Hoodoo was born. So if I'm on the plantation and I'm being held captive and I'm whispering inside the ears of my niece and my kids and whispering, trying to teach them how to gather certain herbs, how to crunch them up, how to heal themselves, because we didn't get sent to doctors. We had to do all that shit that herbally for medicinal purposes. Everything had to come from the earth, period. And our foundation for doing that is tapping into our bloodline, which is our DNA, which is our ancestors who had died before us. So you mean to tell me that if it was rumored, not even suspected rumor, not even proof that you were a root worker, your throat is slit, you're burned alive, you're hung, and your family was hung. That's why it was extreme secrecy. And who was the people who hung us? Who were they? The colonizers, the Caucasians. Mm-hmm. Yes, and this is history. This isn't feelings. This isn't me tap dancing on nobody's goddamn feeling. This is fucking history. Okay? So if they're hanging us for practicing this practice, and the whole premise of Hoodoo and the whole fucking foundation of it is ancestor adulation. If you are Caucasian, what ancestors are you adulating? To be root workers in this year, this day and age. What ancestors? Are you adulating the ancestors that enslaved mine? Your ancestors pretend. A whole ass colonizer, Miss Hoodoo Delish. What ancestors do you adulate? Are you adulating the ancestors that cut babies out of the bellies of my ancestors? Are you adulating the ancestors that took little black babies that were newborns and used them as alligator bait so that you guys can trap alligators in the South and use their skin for clothes and their meat to eat, and they needed bait to do it, and they used black babies as bait? Those are the ancestors that you're adulating? And you're in this whole lane as a fucking teacher, and to add insult to injury? To add insult to injury, bitch, you're scamming people? This whole practice was built on the fact that our ancestors had nothing. They didn't even have fucking good food. They didn't have clothes. They wore rags. They had nothing. And the only thing they had was a desire to connect to spirit and whatever the fuck they can grab from the earth. That's all they had. So you mean to tell me that you're going to have a whole ass website teaching my ancestors' traditional spiritual system, and you're scamming motherfuckers at the same time? Talking about, let me see how much this shit cost. $550 goddamn dollars to open a road? Miss White Woman, you're sitting up here charging motherfuckers $550 fucking dollars to open a road, calling yourself a Hoodoo fucking practitioner. So let's rewind time. No, not right now. Not right now. Not right now. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm in my bag right now. Excuse me. Let's rewind time. Let's rewind time. Let's call it. Let's call this shit. Y'all don't believe me? Go to the website. Go to her website and see. I'm not making shit up. I'm not making shit up. And for the people who are offended by what I'm saying, bitch, click in. We can talk about this shit. We can talk. Here's the link. Click in, and click in. We can talk about this. Y'all don't believe me? Look at the website. Look at her fucking website. We sitting up here and we can rewind back time. And let's say the year is 1860. I'm in chains right now. I'm on a plantation. I'm in chains. Where the fuck am I going to get $550 at to open my roads? Bitch, it was your people that put us in chains. So how the fuck are you going to sit up here and scam African people, foundational African people, black people in the diaspora, and charge they motherfucking asses $550 to do a road opener spell? And telling them that you need you, and you're doing the shit for them. So that means that you're tapping into your ancestors to move the shit in this ether. And your ancestors were the one who enslaved theirs. Make it make sense. I need somebody to make the shit make sense. And that's exhibit A. B, C, whatever the fuck number I'm on. And then the shit that you're promoting is fucking false. A lot of the shit is fucking false that you're promoting. All of it is fucking false. A lot of this, I'm sitting up here like, bitch, who taught you? Who the fuck taught you? And you're sitting up here scamming people. It's one thing for you to be a goddamn fucking fraud. That's fine. If you want to go around tap dancing and being a fraud, that's on you. But then you're perpetuating yourself as a fucking teacher in my spiritual system. And I say my because I am a fucking African from this country. That's why I say that. And like I said, if you guys think that I'm sitting up here coming for all white people who just want to learn about the practice, and you're not listening to shit I'm saying. What I'm talking about is scamming ass practitioners. And I honestly, truly don't give a fuck what color you are. If you're a scammer, you can kiss my ass. But you can't be a scammer and be white in hoodoo. You just can't. And then the thing that really, really makes my asshole itch is when black people that look like me, go and pay this white ass bitch money to do work for you. And the only reason why you're doing it is out of ignorance. But let me tell you why. And I don't fault you to the most part. You're doing it out of ignorance because you don't know. And why don't you know? Why don't you know about your spiritual system? Because you probably weren't raised. You weren't fortunate enough to be raised in the craft or to know. Neither was I. I had to learn later in life because I was born into a Christian family. Okay, I'm from the South, born into a Christian family. So the reason why you don't know is because you were cut off from your spiritual system, your traditional spiritual system. Why were you cut off from your traditional spiritual system? Because of her ancestors and because of the colonizer. So this is why I teach traditionals, and this is why I teach foundation. This right here is why. I do not care how you feel. Because this ain't about feelings. This is about facts. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. I don't care. But what I do care about is preserving the tradition. Because once I'm gone, my words will live on. And hopefully the people I teach will teach the next person and the next person so that the tradition doesn't die. But it will die if we allow scammers to colonize the tradition. I'm sorry, if you are Caucasian, you do not have authorization, rank, or right to be a teacher in hoodoo. You can go to Wicca and teach there because that's your traditional spiritual system. You can go to, I don't know, there's all kind of Celtic practices over in Europe. But in hoodoo, it makes zero fucking sense logically and ethically and spiritually for you to be a teacher. Plus, you scamming motherfuckers. So let's go down the price list. Let's go down the price list. Candle reading. Let's see how much does this bitch charge for candle reading. $100. $100 to read your candle. $100. And then she said the spell strength is like a 1 out of fucking 5, which is bullshit. Because if you do candle magic, that shit can hit heavy and hard as hell. It really truly can. Candle magic hits hard. It's not a one goddamn spell strength. I guess it all just depends on the person who's doing the spell. And if the person don't have any power behind them, then I guess it would be. I teach people how to do their own work because I want you to tap into your own power. Period. I just want you to tap into your own power. I want you to do your own work so that you can learn and so that you can teach. I'm not finna do no spell work for you, but I will guide your ass every step of the way to do your own work. Nothing gives me more satisfaction when I teach another person how to do their work, and for the rest of their life, they already know how to do it. It makes me feel real good when y'all call me and tell me your spell pop that you did that I taught you how to do. So yeah, that is my 2 cents about white people teaching. You do not have the rank, you do not have the right, you do not have the authorization to be a teacher in Hoodoo. It makes 0 sense. I do not care how you feel. That is what I said. And if I lose followers because of this, I have to be true to tradition. I have to be true to tradition. You cannot be a teacher in Hoodoo. You cannot. No more than I would be a teacher in Wicca. I just wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be a teacher. I wouldn't go to an indigenous powwow and dance around in traditional clothing. I wouldn't do that. I would never, ever do no shit like that. I'll go to support and I'll go to admire and I'll go to cheer, but I will not go to be a teacher, because that you don't, okay. And a lot of people want to ask me why this and why that. Well, let me tell you why. Because of white supremacy and because of the construct, white people don't like being told no. They don't like being told no. They don't like being told something's off limits to them. I understand that everything isn't meant for me. I understand that each culture and every culture has a right to have certain practices gatekept. I understand that and I respect it. And it doesn't offend me at all. When I go inside, if I go inside a Native American like camp, they have like sweat lodges and things like that here in LA. I don't know if they have it in different parts of the country. And they have the teachers there that are Native American. I don't feel like I'm entitled or I have a right to be a teacher, even though I'm a teacher in Hoodoo. I just don't. I have no problem respecting their cultural practices. That's gatekept, and that does not offend me. And if you're one of those people that are offended, you need to check your privilege. Okay, you don't have a right to come in somebody else's cultural practice and gatekeep it. People have a right to commune and practice and with people that look like them. They just do. People have that right. And the only reason why culturally African Americans feel like that we have to be inclusive with everybody, like for instance, I know I'm all over the place, but let me clarify. If you have an exclusive group of Chinese people and they're exclusive only to them, then that's not an issue. Nobody cares. If you have one that's exclusive only to Islam, Sunni Muslims, or whatever, that's fine. Nobody cares. But if you have something that is exclusive only to Black people, now white people like to throw out reverse racism and this, that, and the third. Do y'all know where that comes from? It comes from slavery. And let me break that down to you. Back in the day, it wasn't allowed for 2 or more, maybe 3 or 4 Black people to be together discussing something without white supervision. That's right. The Black church in the United States was started under white supervision because they didn't want Black people conspiring. That was the fear, that we would conspire to either overthrow, run away, whatever. We always had to have white supervision anytime 2 or more of us joined together. And that shit still follows today. That shit still follows today. If you see any type of Black exclusivity, it makes white people feel really uncomfortable. And the reason why it makes them feel uncomfortable. And a lot of people said that subconsciously white people are scared that we're going to do to them what they did to us. Now, you guys can tell me if that's your opinion or whatnot, but I just feel like that each race, even women, as a group of women have a right to have a woman's circle, a sister circle, and a book club where it's only women around. Maybe we don't want to smell y'all funky ass balls and y'all sit down air in the summer. Maybe it just want the girls just to chill together, you know? And then there's men that want to have their little man cigar circles or whatever. They gone. Do men have a right to communicate with each other without women around? Sometimes men just need to sit down and bounce ideas off each other. And Black men should have their own circles where they can sit up and discuss whatever the hell they want to discuss. And the same with white men, and the same with Latino men. Maybe they want to sit around and discuss this, that, and the third, and they have that right. They have that absolute right. You know, Black women should have sister circles and book clubs and wine clubs, whatever the case may be. People have a right to communicate with their own. Young people should have their own circles. You little girls should have Girl Scouts and boy. You know, you guys get where I'm coming from. But one thing that people don't like is when people want to be exclusive culturally. And I don't see a problem with it. But then again, I'm not insecure with who I am. I have no problem with that. You know, people have a right to commune the way they want to. But in regards to this subject, I know I done pissed a lot of y'all off. And I'm finna go through the comments in a minute and read what y'all are saying to me. But just know that shit that's on that website, and I'm calling that one out. There's many out there, don't get me wrong. I'm not only coming for her. I'm using her as an example. That shit is some bullshit. Any practitioner worth their weight in used cat litter with an ounce of ethical code will tell you that it does not take no $550 to open your roads. That's some bullshit. I'm here to let y'all know. I'm going through this goddamn website. A Love Road opener is $550. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. The bitch is a scammer. And there is no other way to fucking say that shit. I'm just keeping it. Oh yeah. Let me tag because I like that. You said, remember the white girl who tried to send Papa Legba after a black girl, and the white girl wound up dying like a week later. Fucked around and found out. Yeah, you don't mess with Papa Legba. He's a Loa. He's a death Loa. He's the Loa at the crossroads. You don't mess with him. You don't ask him for stupid shit. And you would never petition a death Loa for some dumbass shit like that. So you're 100% right. 100% right. Thank you so much, Ivan, baby. I appreciate you. Yes. It's been a while since I've been live. I'm going to do it definitely more often. Yeah, she's scamming people. She's definitely Tara. She is scamming people. That's some bullshit. I'll give you an example of how much it'll cost to open your roads. You can do a cigar cleansing. Hold on, let me find out. Teresa.
Yeah.
How much is a cigar cleanse?
$45.
To open your roads.
Yeah, and I push it through and you've seen it.
$45. Or you can light a road opener candle spell for $15.
Yeah.
Or you can go buy the candle yourself for however much you can find it in your city if you don't want to order from my website. And you can go on my YouTube channel and I show you step by step how to prepare that shit yourself and do the spell for free. For free. Not no $500. And she's going to do the work for you. So who is she petitioning to do your work for you? Who's she petitioning to open your roads? Because her ancestors would have killed me for practicing. That's what I want to know. For the people who's paying for this shit, with no proof the work was done outside of a stale ass photo that she took maybe 6 months ago to send you. No proof. Who is she petitioning to do your work? Because practitioners got to tap into a power source. And in African spirituality, your power source is your ancestors. And in traditional, native traditional spiritual systems as well, their power source is their ancestors. Absolutely. For the and a side note, Hoodoo is a mixture of African spiritual systems, Native American spiritual systems, and with a sprinkle of Christianity to guise and cover it, because they had to pretend to be Christians for the real root workers back in the day. They had to use that as a cloak or else they would have been killed. So who is she petitioning to push your work through for $550 fucking dollars? I'm waiting for somebody to give me that goddamn answer. She calling on her ancestors. Do you think they gonna do that for them? They would have killed me. And hell, her ancestors, if she was a real practitioner back then, like Salem, they would have killed her ass too. So what power does she have in Hoodoo? I'm not talking about in the lane of Wicca. I'm not talking about in the lane of the other Celtic practice, the European practice, because she could probably have a shit ton of power in that lane because they have a completely different thing that they do over there. That's not our thing, you know? But who is she petitioning to do this work? These astronomical ass fucking prices. Because that don't make sense when it comes to Hoodoo, because Hoodoo is from enslaved Africans who didn't have money. Bitch, so how the fuck is you sitting up here charging people a arm, leg, and all their coochie hair for this bunk ass work, and you don't have no foundation to tap into to push the work into the ether? Make it make sense, bitch. Make it make sense. Oh, thank you so much, Tanya. I appreciate you, sweetheart. I appreciate you and your spirit team for that comment. I was told by spirit that I'm only to buy and learn from AWB when it comes to this. Thank you. I'm gonna tell you what it do and what it don't. I'm gonna tell you what it do and I'm gonna tell you what it don't. So I'm telling y'all right now. So let's see. What does Chanel say? Chanel said, I did your reversal candle spell and it failed 3 times. The last time it exploded. An explosion is not a fail in a candle. If you have a candle and it bursts, that's not a fail. And before you say that the spell failed, I would have to ask you a few questions, channeled brand. A, what time frame did you give it for 3 times? Because that don't make sense. A lot of people think a spell failed because it didn't pop in their time because they have a popcorn mentality. And let me clarify what a popcorn mentality is. That's when you do a spell and you expect for it to pop immediately in your time. You're not forgetting that when you do a spell, you're sending a petition to the ancestors and they work it out in their time. So you might do a reversal candle today and you may not see any movement in the spell for about a month, but maybe 3 months later, all hell breaks loose in that person's family. And then the second question I would ask is, was the work justified? You know what I mean? Was the work justified? And last but not least, with a reversal candle, it only sends back negativity if the person is sending negativity, or person or people is sending negativity to you. If they're not doing shit to you, nothing's going to happen because there's nothing to send back. In other words, don't start none, won't be none. So when you say the candle failed, there's a couple of different reasons as to why a candle would fail. A, the work wasn't justified. B, you're looking at it through a popcorn lens and you haven't gotten clearance to do the work. And C, the spell hasn't manifested just yet. But if you've already put in the ether that it didn't work, that means that you killed your shit before it even started. Because the number one thing you need for any spell to work, whether it be reversal, good luck, whatever, is intent. And if your intent is already telling yourself and putting the energy in the ether that the spell didn't work or it won't work or it's not going to work or it couldn't work, then you've already fucked up. It's literally, and I've already used this analogy, but I'm going to tell you again. It's like you cooking a big ass pot of gumbo and you got all the ingredients to make a bomb ass gumbo, and then you sit up and you take a bottle of bleach and pour it inside the pot. Now you don't fuck the whole pot up. Damn, gumbo was just fine. Takes a little while to make gumbo. Y'all already know gumbo ain't some shit you can make overnight, or not. Well, overnight, yeah, but not like in 5 minutes. It's not some like microwave dish you can stick in the microwave and cook. Because if you ever tried to make gumbo in the microwave, you done fucked up already. And then you pour bleach in it. The bleach is your doubt. The bleach is you telling yourself the spell failed. So that's what I would tell you. Oh, you commented again. I'm finna jump into your ass, channeled Bram. You said it burned black. I waited a week and did it again. It stopped quarterly all the way down, aimed to the last one burst, aimed at anyone who sent me. You said it burned black. So black means bad. Black mean it didn't work, huh? Is anybody in the comments want to comment what black mean in Hoodoo? So when a candle burned black, it mean it failed? How many times have I taught y'all about this? Do I need to discuss this again? You said you waited a week. Well, a week is no time in spell work time. It could be all the time, it could be no time, but you said you waited a week. You're a popcorn practitioner, baby. And you said it stopped 3/4 of the way down. And the last one
Freaking Tiffany.
I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. I apologize. My laptop died for a minute, so I had to plug it in. My apology. My apology. I hope y'all can hear me still. Shit. Give me some hearts in the comment section if y'all can hear me. Give me some hearts, y'all, if y'all can hear me. Let me see. My apologies. But yeah, what was I saying? I was talking to let me see. I was talking to oh, okay, I see the hearts. Okay, thank you, babies. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so what was I talking? Oh, it burned black. So basically what I was basically saying is channeled Brent is that you're a popcorn practitioner. And thank you, Tara. Yes, candle burning black. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, you're a popcorn practitioner. You waited a week. You waited a week. The week ain't shit. And then you did it again, which means you didn't trust the work, which means you already fucked up in the first place. And you said it stopped 3 of the ways down. The reason why I would say it stopped 3 of the ways down is because you doubted the spell and you fucked it up. By burning another spell a week, burning another candle a week later means that you didn't trust none of the shit you was doing. You wanted to see it manifest right then and there. And if it didn't do that, then you think that something went wrong and reburned it again. If I could rewind back time, you only needed to burn that candle one time and you trust the work. And then you just wait because you trust the work. You don't need to burn another candle. When a candle bursts, that's usually a breakthrough. That means that the shit really needed to get done. And the energy was so thick in the ether that it really needed to get done. And it kaboom. That happened to me. And next thing you know, you see results when spirit says it's time to see them. So, yeah, that's what I would tell you. Thank you so much. Tara is one of my old schoolers. Thank you. I appreciate you, baby, for paying attention. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Okay, so what is this? Here's another one. When someone is throwing black magic at me, my candle would burn black, but then it would take spiritual baths while burning, and the candle would burn clear, and it worked. So we're using the term black magic. Okay. Does anybody want to discuss black magic right now? Anybody want to talk about black magic? Okay. I hate it when y'all use that term. You said somebody was throwing black magic. You guys really have a lot of the people in here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Brashiba. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. 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 Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tara. I'm highlighting y'all. Woo. Yes. No such thing as black magic. Take that whole concept to Wicca. Take it to Wicca. Go to Wicca with that. Go to white supremacy with that. Because they teach you that black is bad and black is evil and dark and all this shit. We don't do that. Black is good luck. Black is protection. We don't do that, okay? So we don't use that term. At least if you're learning under me, you know. Okay? We don't use that term, baby. And I know if you don't know, if you're new and you don't know, then understand. Okay? So I need y'all to understand that. I'm not coming for nobody white. I'm not saying that they're bad and evil and horrible. I'm not doing all that. You did a self-love spell for someone else once and the candle exploded and there was glass everywhere. Yeah, sometimes it happens. It absolutely does. So I want you guys to understand that. I want you guys to know. So if nobody's gonna click in, I'm just gonna head on out there. Seem like I got my point across. Oh, absolutely, Tara. Absolutely. She says they tried to tell us that black cats were bad luck and 666 was the devil. Believe the opposite of what they tell us. Now, black cats, well, how did that come across as being bad? Because in Egypt, when the colonizers came in, they seen a lot of people worshiping Bast or Basset, which is a black cat deity. Cats were always considered very divine animals. Black Bast was worshipped and protected, and they wanted to replace the traditional spiritual systems of the people in Egypt, in Kemet, with Christianity. And they vilified the black cat by calling black cats bad and good luck and evil. So that's where that premise comes from. Black being bad, black being evil, black and dark and all that bullshit. It came from colonization. Bast is not evil. She is not bad. She is amazing. And I have an altar to her in my store. So Tara's 100% right. So please, we're going to refrain from using those terms. Okay? We're going to refrain from using those terms. Oh, thank you. I use them too. Black candles for prosperity work. I do too. I do too. I do too. It's a couple of reasons why your candle won't stay lit. Vilala. That's a cute name. It could be a draft in the area, or it could be the energy in the ether. It could be a defective candle. It all just depends. It all just depends. Sometime the time you're doing the candle, ancestors will blow the work out because it ain't the right time to do it. They won't maybe want you to wait a day or two, or wait a week, or maybe the work isn't justified. So in order for me to answer this, honey, I would need to know what type of work it was and what reason that you were doing it for. That's why a lot of times the candles won't stay lit. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Cats are very spiritual and they are protectors. Absolutely. I have a gray cat too, and she's bad as shit, but I can't trade her because I'm kind of addicted to her. So I understand. I feel you. My cat is bad than a bitch. She is. She is so moody and such a diva and a bully. I don't know where she learned that shit from, but she mine and I love her and I can't get rid of her. So yeah, I feel you. Okay, any other questions y'all have? Okay, let's see. Someone is putting curses on me and my child, Shay. Someone's putting curses on you and your child. You have confirmation of this from a reading, or is this something that you believe? What type of curses are you talking? A lot of people say that, or they'll go get a reading from a low vibrational ass person who will tell them that they have a curse on them. And the next thing is, oh, but I can cure it for you for $500. Yeah, you can kiss my ass. It don't take $500 to cure a curse. And depending, a lot of people believe they have curses on them, but it really is their badass decision making of their life. For instance, somebody hit me up for a consultation talking about, I have a curse put on me. I'm broke. I said, well, do you work? Yeah, but I keep getting fired. Why do you keep getting fired? Because I show up late. That's not a curse. That's you being lazy as shit. Get your funky ass up and go to work. What? It's just that simple. That's not a curse put on you. That means that your lazy, sorry, stank ass won't get out of bed and get up and go to work, and they got tired of your shit and fired you. Welcome to adulthood. So it all just depends on the person and the situation. A lot of people really don't have curses on them. They just have a bunch of bullshit they're tolerant, or they're around the wrong people with the wrong energy who throws off the energy of their life. But we can definitely talk about that shit another day. You really want to see some bad luck and bad shit, and it's not even a curse, it's just a string of bad luck. Get hooked up with the wrong romantic partner. Get hooked up with a hellified, low vibrational ass motherfucker around you and your energy, and you'll see won't shit work well in your life. But the second you let them go, you level up like you got a rocket strapped to your back. Trust me on this. Oh, V Lala said the work wasn't being justified. Okay. You was being a fast ass, huh? Ancestor said no and probably blew the candle out. That's what I'm talking about. At least you honest. I've been a fast ass a few times in my life. I have. I can admit it. When I first started, I was a hot ass mess. That's how I'm able to teach you guys for free. You ain't got to pay me no 500 goddamn dollars. Keep your money. Invest in something or something. But you ain't got to send it to me to learn a practice that's your birthright that was passed down. You want to pay $500 to learn some shit? Girl, tell them to kiss your ass and mine too. And have them kiss my ass after I work out too. Tell them that shit. Sitting up here trying to charge people a fuck ton of money. No, ma'am. Yeah, absolutely. She said that people's karmatic energy will block your blessings. It will. That's why you got to be real careful who you have in proximity to your energy. You have to be. You have to be. You treat your energy like your money. Protect it. You're not going to leave your wallet outside on the curb and come back in 2 days thinking it's still going to be there, right? Be real careful who you pour into. Thank you. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you for that. That really makes me feel good. That let me know that I'm answering my calling from spirit. It lets me know. Thank you so much. Because I was called to teach. And that's exactly what I'm doing. All right, so I'm finna end this live since y'all not tapping in to talk to me. Nobody want to debate me about Miss Hoodoo Delish? Nobody? Hey, I put up the invitationary. I did. I put up the invitationary. Nobody wanted to tap in and talk to your girl. But if y'all want me to tap in on y'all shit, I will do it. Just send me an email or call the store. Call the store. Call the store and talk to me during business hours. I don't have a problem talking to anybody. All right, let's see. Magic is magic. It can be evil or good. It all depends on the individual practicing the craft. Absolutely, Christy. Yes, baby. 1000%, baby. 1000%. Shit, some people think that sour jars. Oh, side note, the bitch who I'm talking about charges like maybe $400 to do a sour jar. But yeah, no. Thank you so much, Greg Collins, baby. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Christy. She's 100% right, though. The individual practice in the craft and the work being warranted. I will talk to you guys soon. I am your favorite hoodoo auntie, the African witch bitch. I will talk to you guys soon. If you guys are in the market to purchase extremely low cost hoodoo supplies, and when I say low cost, I mean low fucking cost. The cheapest thing in my store costs 75 cents. And the most expensive thing in my store costs $23, which is a singing bowl. Yeah. With the stand and the wand. And everything in between. Consultations with me are $15 for a 20-minute session. Unless you're a couple, it's $20 or $25. Yeah, it's $25 for a 30-minute session. And we can talk about anything. People call me up and asking me for recipes for chicken and dumplings. They just get a consultation just to get my cooking recipes. I don't give a damn. But anyway, hit me up. I am your favorite hoodoo auntie, and all of my information is in the description box below. I will talk to you guys soon, and I will come live more often. You guys have any subjects you want me to talk about, send it through email or DM. I'll talk to you guys soon. Ashe.